Well, greetings from the settlement of Yuyadani. This whole region is famous for its tea. It's actually regarded as the tea capital of Japan. My course today will take me through many tea plantations on my way to the town of Kasagi. Yuyadani is particularly famous because of a gentleman by the name of Nagatani-san. This is where he lived. Soen is famous for developing a method of tea processing that involves steaming, kneading and drying, and is still used to this day. His house has been converted into a museum. Right across the road from the museum is the Chasomyo Jinju Shrine. The shrine's although it looks very old, but it's actually a very young shrine, erected in 1953. The shrine is dedicated to Nagatani-san. And this is where today's course commences. Once I cross that bridge, take the track up the hill. This is what's known as the pilgrimage of prayer. Fortunately, I've got no more information regarding this, but I can assume that it takes the pilgrim up the hill to a place called Kontaiji Temple, which will be my next stop. And to point out here as I make my way, and a lot of these tracks you come across in Japan, people leave these sort of hiking sticks behind. I wouldn't say they would give much support. You generally leave them at the top before continuing on. Autumn and the colours that accompany it. It's just beautiful. As you can tell, it's been a while since I went for my last hike. This is beautiful. Well, I've reached some sort of like a plateau marker on it. Whenever I come across these, give me the impression that I'm on a boundary, maybe between two towns or two cities, or even between two prefectures. Well, I think I've reached the terminus of the pilgrimage of prayer and have arrived at Kontaiji Temple. The temple was first established here about 1300 years ago. And at the time, there were some 50 buildings making up the complex. Any time of year is a good time of year to come here, but as I say, sometimes a bit better than others. And autumn would be one of the best times of year to come here. I've been here many times over the years. It's one of my favourite spots. complex lies just below the summit of Jubu-san, or Mount Jubu, which is some 632 metres high, which is where we're heading off to now. Welcome to Jubu-san. First time I came here, which is about 8 years ago now, 8 or 9 years ago, those trees were only little saplings. At the time you got a really good view over Kyoto City and even up towards Lake Biwa. You still see some parts of it in the distance there, although albeit under cloud, and Kyoto City in the distance over there. I was planning to take a coffee break at the summit of Jubu-san, but there's a bit of a breeze blowing, so I've come down past Kantaiji to the lower Kantaiji, the more modern of the two complexes. I'm leaving Kantaiji Temple for my next segment. This part here that I'm about to join now is part of the Tokaido Road, a pathway that linked Osaka to Tokyo, created some 600 years ago. It's about 1700 kilometres long. This is an actual branch of it, it's not the actual trail. I'm doing my first ascent of the day into the settlement of Harigama. Many a time I've stopped at the shelter for a break. This occasion I won't, but I don't think I'm far from civilization. Just arrived at the settlement of Hariyama. This is part of Wasaka town, which is just the town centre being just over here. This area is regarded as the tea growing capital of Japan. And if you're standing where I am now looking around, you can see nothing but tea plantations everywhere. Once I pass through Hariyama, I then make my way over there and start my second ascent of the day, up those hills in the distance, where I join the Mikuni Gorindo, which is the Mikuni Forest Road, and make my descent into Kasagi. Boy, that sure was a very steep descent. Come down from way over there, way at the top. My leg muscles are screaming. Pass through settlement Hariyama. Now I'm going to pass through the settlement of Monza before making my next ascent up to the Yuyadani-to-Kasagi. Just a little interesting snippet of information about Japan. The cities and towns throughout Japan have their own specially designed manhole covers. Quite a popular pastime of people to go around and check them out. This one's for Osaka City. They all have a meaning. Can't tell you much about this one, but I would say, looking at those stripes, it has something to do with tea. It's a beautiful day, I can tell you. It's still a bit cold up the top. Beautiful. I mentioned earlier, tea growing everywhere, even way up there in the top. And of course, they have tracks to give their farmers access. And of course, they make great mountain biking territory. Voila. Well, been on the road for about 3 hours now. Not feeling hungry. It's time for something to eat. And where better than over there. Snuggled in amongst the trees is a familiar coloured torii, which signifies a shrine. What a view. Still got a wee ways to go. According to the sign back there, about another 6 kilometres just to December. So I expect about another 10. So let's go and get some food in that stomach. Hey, how's this for a view? Beautiful, eh? My destination is just over that little hill in front, in the foreground. Quite a little wee climb. Still see pockets of tea plantations around. Whew, puffing a bit. Looking forward to my next tea break. Okay, I'm at the junction of the Tokaido Road and the Yuyadani-to-Kasagi Forest Road. The second and last of my ascents. I'm now to commence my second and final descent into the village of Kasagi. I think the word beautiful comes to mind. Is the word I would use to describe this particular scene. Look at that colour. About 2 years ago, I came hiking out of this valley. I just finished bush bashing down a hill, come across this creek and followed it out, and got to this point here. It was a stinking hot day. I was sweating profusely. I saw a pool of water just over there. Without any hesitation, stripped off all my clothing, went and had a lovely refreshing bath. Oh, it was nice. If you want to, look up my YouTube page and you'll see the video. In the meantime, the colours just don't stop coming. I've arrived back in civilization. I'm just outside Kasagi. We're at the junction of the Yama Jinja, small little local shrine. Probably another half an hour's walk. Feet are beginning to ache, but looking forward to it. Well, I've arrived at my destination of Kasagi. I'm about 15 minutes before my train arrives. So just a quick farewell before I board. So I'll just turn this around here and say, well, been about 5.5 hours, which I estimate between 20, maybe 25 kilometres. Getting a bit cold, it's a bit late, it's about 10 past 4. So I'm going to say farewell here. It's been a great trip. I hope you'll enjoy viewing the video. So from me, the alcoholic, Jenny.